Algebra 1, Module 4, Lesson 14, deriving the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is as follows. The opposite of b. So you can't just say negative b because it's the opposite of b. Plus or minus. It's always plus or minus because we have a square root symbol. So it's opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. Well, let's solve for r. Oh, and that's all. That's finding x, right? So let's do that here. Solving for r, which is our x here. Label this as a, b, but we don't have c here in the correct form because we do not have the standard form of the quadratic formula. You have to have it in standard form. So let's rewrite this. 3 halves r squared minus 2r. Now we would subtract 2 from both sides and get it over here. So now this is c. So a, b, c. And now all you're going to do is plug it into the formula. You got the formula, now plug it in. Opposite of b. What is b? And what would be the opposite of negative 2?
2.
Just 2. Plus or minus? It's plus or minus because it's the square root. You're always going to have plus or minus. We don't care about r. We're only looking at coefficient and constant. We don't care about those. B is what? Now, does it matter here if we put a negative 2 or a positive 2? No, because we're squaring it, correct? But for the sake of it, let's go ahead and put negative 2 squared minus 4. What is A? Three halves. What is C? Another negative 2. Okay? Divided by 2. And what is A? 3 halves. All right, now you're going to want to, I always start working from the inside of my square root symbol because I act like that's kind of like your parentheses. That's a whole nother little unit there. So if I work inside that, I have 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 2 squared is 4 minus, now the easiest thing here is going to be to cancel these out, which makes that a negative 3, right? 4 times a negative 3, which what's 4? Negative 4 times a negative 3 is positive 12. Now, we can cancel these out, and it leaves you with over 3. All right. So, let's do this. 2 plus or minus square root of 16 all over 3. What's the square root of 16? 4. So now we have 2 plus or minus 4 over 3. Well, what's 2 plus 4? divided by 3. What's 2 minus 4 over 3? Negative 2/3. And those are your two x's. Remember, when we have a quadratic, we know it's a quadratic when what? Highest degree is 2. Okay? Now, what does that 2 tell us? Whenever the degree, whatever the highest degree is in a polynomial, that tells us how many solutions we have, how many x-intercepts we have, how many roots we have, however, whatever you want to call it. There's always going to be 2. Just think about it. When we factored those, how many x's did we get? 2. Here, you've got to have 2. What makes it 2 here? Well, it's this plus and minus symbol that follows us all the way down here. Here, we did plus. We did 2 plus 4 divided by 3. Gave us all of this. And here we done the minus. So there's your 2 answers. You have to do plus or minus when it comes to a square root symbol. Okay? Because what is the square root of 16? 4 and negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 4 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. That's the reason why I have to do plus and minus. Do you see that? Memorize this for the rest of your life. Forever. I don't think there's anything on page 2. All right, where did we lose you?